this is all about the graphical method of finding out the solution for the pair of the linear equation. Now let us suppose if we are just talking about the graphical method with which we are done. So is it the only method through which we can find the solution of the pair of linear equation, or can we say that it is a convenient method to find the solution of pair of linear equation? So obviously not, because the graphical method is actually a tedious one if the coordinates of the pair of the linear equation would have a non-integral coordinate. For an instance, if we are talking about a coordinate being √2, √3, or if I'll talk about the coordinates as 1.73 and 1.7, so these coordinates are actually do have a non-integral value, which is definitely an impossible thing for us to remember, or we can say that there must be a probability that we can read such type of the non-integral coordinates in a wrong manner. So actually, instead of just talking about the graphical solution, we can also find out the solution of the pair of linear equation through other methods as well. So the question arises over here that is there any alternative method of finding the solution for the pair of linear equation instead of just the graphical solution set? So yes, the answer is we do have the alternative method of finding the solution, and those methods are called as the algebraic methods. So there are several algebraic methods through which we can find the solution of the pair of linear equation instead of just going on the graphical solution sets. So what are the several algebraic methods? So now we are going to discuss the three main algebraic methods in this particular chapter. So first of all, we'll talk about the substitution method. The very first algebraic method is the substitution method. Then we have the second method, which is called as the elimination method. This is our second method through which we can find the solution of the pair of linear equation, and the third method is called as the cross multiplication method. And further, we also discuss about how we can reduce the linear equations into further forms, and we can talk about this later. But first of all, we'll talk about these three algebraic methods through which we can find the solution of the pair of linear equations. So let's just first of all talk about the substitution method. Let's just talk about the substitution method first. As it is clear from being the word substitution, it means that we have to substitute something in an equation. So let us suppose if we are talking about the substitution method and we have the equations of the form a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0, a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. So we have a set of algorithm, or we can say that we have some algorithm to use the substitution method. So the step number 1 for the substitution method says that find the value of one variable in terms of the other variable. So if we have the two equations, so first of all, for the very first equation, we will make it in terms of y in terms of x, or either x in terms of y. So always remember the step 1 for the algorithm to solve the pair of linear equation through substitution method says that find the value of one variable in terms of the other variable. So either it must be of the form y in terms of x, or either it must be of the terms x in terms of y. Now let's just talk about the step 2. So the step 2 would be of the form substitute the value of step 1 in the other equation and reduce it to an equation in general form. So it says the value or the variable that is coming out in the step 1, you have to substitute that value in the other equation that you do have, and then you have to reduce that equation into one variable. Means you have to make it as a linear equation in one variable. Now further, the step number 3 is substitute the value of x or y obtained in the step 2 in the equation which is used in the the step 1 to obtain the value of the other variable. So whatever value we will get from the step number 2, using that value, we can substitute that value in the step number 1, and then we can find the value of the other variable. So these are the 3 important steps that will help us to use the substitution method to find out the solution for the pair of the linear equation. Now let's just apply all these 3 steps all together towards or into a question. So let us suppose if we are talking about the equation as x minus 7y plus of 42 is equal to 0, and the second equation is x minus 3y is equal to 6. Now we just wanted to solve these 2 equations using the substitution method. So let's just apply the algorithm first. So first of all, we have the step number 1. We have the step number 1 which says that you have to convert the equation. Let us suppose if I'm taking this equation as nothing but 1, and if I'm taking this equation as nothing but 2. So it's your choice, whatever equation you just wanted to take first. So always try to take the equation which is in the most simplest form first. So let us suppose if I'm taking the equation number 2 first rather than taking the equation number 1. So in the step number 1, it says that you have to take the value of x in terms of y or either y in terms of x for any equation. So step number 1 is from equation number 2. I'm taking the equation number 2 first. From equation number 2, I'm taking the value of x in terms of y as x minus 3y is equal to 6. We can write it as x is equal to 3y plus 6. So this is my step number 1 in which I have converted an equation in terms of x in terms of y. So let us suppose I am calling this as equation number 3rd. So the step number 2 says that using the value that we have concluded in the step number 1, substitute that value in the other equation. So we have already used the equation number 2. So now we will use the equation number 1. Now we will substitute the value of x is equal to 3y plus 6 in the equation number 1. So we'll say substitute equation number 3rd in equation number 1. Substitute equation number 3rd into the equation number 1. So if we have x is equal to 3y plus of 6, so let's just substitute this value in the equation number 1. So equation number 1 is x minus 7y plus of 42 is equal to 0. So let's just substitute the value of x over here. So x is 3y plus 6. So we can write in place of x as 3y plus 6 minus 7y plus 42 is equal to 0. Now the further step was like we have to convert this equation into the linear equation in one variable. So as you can see, we have this equation only in terms of one variable which is nothing but y. So let's just solve this equation. We have 3y plus 6 minus of 7y plus of 42 is equal to 0. It means we can write this equation as 3y minus 7y minus 4y plus of 42 plus of 6, 48, which is equal to 0. Now let's just find out the value of y. So this is minus 48. Negative and negative get cancelled with each other. Y is nothing but 48 by 4. 4 into 1 is 4. 4 into 2 is 8. Means y is coming out to be 12. So the next step, that is the step number 3rd. The step number 3rd says substitute the value of y that you are getting or any value that you are getting in the step number 2. You have to substitute that value in the step number 1. So we'll say substitute equation number 4th in third. So as we have y is equal to 12, we have to substitute y is equal to 12 in the equation. X is equal to 3y plus of 6. So if I'll substitute the value of y over here, it would be of the form 3 into 12 plus of 6, which will be x is equal to 3 into 12 means 36 plus of 6, which is nothing but 42. So at the end, using the substitution method, using the steps that are involved in the substitution method, we have concluded that the value of the x variable is nothing but 42 and the value of y variable is nothing but 12. So this is nothing but the solution of the pair of the linear equation in an algebraic method, that is substitution method. So this is all about the substitution method, which is quite an easy way to find the solution for the pair of linear equation rather than just going on for the graphical solution set. So I hope the solution using the substitution method is all clear to you.